Welcome to 20 Meter Restart Agree to Disagree Rugby League Podcast. I'm Hoonz.
I'm Nick.
And we'd like to say good morning.
All right, results from the weekend. Only the two games. The Storm up over the Sharks, 22 points to 6. And the Roosters over the Rabbitohs, 12 points to 4. Now, usually here we'd do team that impressed us the most. But since there are only two teams in competition for that, we're probably going to skip that. That all right with you?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Okay, cool. So instead, why don't we do team that impressed us the most this year? I'll let you start. Hoonz, which team impressed you the most in the NRL 2018?
Well, it's definitely not the Cowboys.
Yep. I won't make you explain your reasoning for that.
If you said disappointment of the year, well, yeah, the Cowboys. But if I have to go with somebody or team, would be the Warriors. Yep. I think the Warriors have been out of finals for 7 years until this year. 2011 was the last time they made it.
When they made the grand final?
Made the grand final.
Yeah.
Although they got knocked out in week 1, but they were really impressive, man.
It took an effort to get into the 8.
Yeah, exactly.
So can't ignore that.
It was really close this season on terms of the board. So it was really good for the Warriors to fight through that, especially players like Roger, the reform of Isaac Luke. Yep. That was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Sean Johnson, like playing on the back of Blake Green, goodbye.
He needed that. I think Sean Johnson needed a stable 5'8" in order to thrive.
Yeah, Tohu Harris. Man, what a buy.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
Steal.
One of the best second rows in the game. So he was such a good buy for them. But Warriors. What about you, man?
Good call. That's tough. I would say the Rabbitohs. I think at the start of the year, I didn't hold them in high regard. In fact, I don't think I expected them in the 8. And yet they've come out and they've looked like a premiership winning kind of side. And I know they're knocked out, but it's still prelim final. Yeah. That's a strong team. They finished third. Full credit to them. They really impressed me this year under Inglis's leadership. Alex Johnston, I thought he had a really good season. I thought he would have been in contention for Dally and fullback of the year. But hello, technical difficulties. Who else played well for them? I think Adam Reynolds and Cody Walker impressed me as well. I think as a halves combo, they caught me off guard a little bit. I didn't expect them to produce anything big, but they did. Yeah. And the forward pack, the Burgess brothers can be so lethal. They can be just as detrimental as they can be positive for your side. But I think when you see all three of them turn up, it's a good game of footy to watch. That battle of forwards is just so strong. You've got to have a good forward pack to compete with those boys. So
for sure, man.
I would say the Rabbitohs. I didn't expect them to. They caught me off guard.
I think you didn't leave this guy out on purpose with Damien Cook.
Yeah.
Big difference.
What a hooker he was. And they got rid of Robbie Farah for him. That made me so happy.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
So, all right. Well, we'll move on. I don't have anything to add to that.
Nah, man. Yeah. Good choice.
All right. So we'll move on. Now, this seems to have caused a bit of a divide in the NRL, from what I found. Big Billy Slater. Hello. Sorry. Technical difficulty still. Billy Slater, shoulder charge. He was charged with it, fought the judiciary, and found not guilty. So what were your thoughts on that? Where do you stand? And try to be as impartial as possible here, because I think that is an issue that arose with this. Is that this is reading comments on news articles and whatnot, but people seem to have their own view of Billy Slater before they would even consider the shoulder charge. They saw charged with a shoulder charge. No, don't let him play or let him play, regardless of what the act was itself. People were just already in that biased mindset. So what were your thoughts?
My first thoughts when it happened, I thought Well, especially no. Let me start with the verdict of not guilty.
Yep.
My first initial thought looking at it was, I don't know if Billy will be playing next week.
Yep.
I thought that it was a clear shoulder charge, but the more I watched the replay prior to him going to the judiciary, I thought to myself, no, they can make a good case and argument because there has been similar plays throughout the year with other fullbacks and no one's got pulled up for it.
No one's been even penalised for it.
So there was no consistency already.
No.
And I think off air we were talking about how he managed to get one of his arms on the opponent whilst going through. So I think it was Sasai Feki.
Yep.
So, man, I think it was a great call. And the NRL really needs a superstar, a champion player playing in the grand final like this.
Yep. But keep in mind, we can't make decisions based off those kind of things.
Yeah,
we have to be completely on the act itself, regardless of what match it is, what
that's why I said
who it is.
Yeah, that's why I said from the get-go is that, after watching the replay a million times, because it was in the act of a try-saving tackle.
Yep.
So it's not a deliberate act on the field.
Yeah.
Well, it was on the field, but not in the middle of the field or middle thirds of the field.
No, he wasn't putting on a cheap shot.
Yeah, where people are putting cheap shots in.
Yeah.
This one was more it's either I get him or he scores. So
exactly. And
that's how I look at it, though. But I agree, though. But I'm glad that like I said, the champion player is playing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What about you, man?
I just wanted to help corroborate some sources here for you. So Mal Meninga actually agreed with you. He said, what do people expect him to do in that situation? In the act of making a tackle, when someone's scoring a try, you're allowed to strip, you're allowed to tackle someone in the air, which you can't do normally in general play. So, technically, what else is Billy supposed to do there? Is he supposed to just lie down and go for the ankles? Because that wouldn't have stopped Feki. Feki would have scored.
Exactly.
So, what did it for me was the arm separated from the body.
Yeah.
That to me just said, big contact, no malicious intent to it. Billy's just got to do what he's got to do to save the try.
He had to.
And it wasn't high. It wasn't dangerous. Feki cops the hit, gets up. He doesn't look fazed by it. He just thinks he doesn't think. He is annoyed that he just didn't score the try. It wasn't a grubby tackle. And Sharks players have jumped in Billy's defence. So I'm not upset. I was really pleased with it. But then again, I find it hard to be impartial because I love Billy. I just love him. He's one of the best fullbacks to step foot on the field.
Well, I think that he's the greatest modern fullback of all time.
I would have been crushed if he hadn't played the grand final, and that was his last game. Just a boring win over the Sharks at Amy Park. I wasn't happy with that. Boyd Cordner disagreed with it. Shock horror, the captain of the opposition said on Triple M radio, after that, I don't know what a shoulder charge is anymore. I think you're all sitting there thinking the same thing. Although it's good to have a legend of our game and one of the best ever to play his last game in a grand final, on the other hand, you sit there scratching your head about what actually are the rules around that. For me personally, it was a shoulder charge, but at the same time, I can't do much about it. We're playing the Storm this weekend with their full-strength team.
No, boy. The difference is this was in the act of scoring where it was either him or Feki, and he had to make the big play. Yeah. It's actually like Mal just said too, was that the act of stripping the ball on the line, in the air.
Yeah.
And this is all based on point on the try line. So they should make one rule for that anyway. I don't think that it would, like you said, there was no intent in it. It's not like the lifting tackles that happened that Isaac Luke did or Cameron Smith did in before the 2008 grand final. So those guys missed grand finals, and those guys are big reasons why that their team are more effective than what it is,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So not, Billy, I just felt like Billy wasn't the same as theirs. It was harder. That was a harder argument than what Billy's case was.
Their cases were much more kind of, I am guilty of something here.
Yeah, I felt like Isaac Luke kind of got robbed a bit because it wasn't a pure lifting tackle like how Cam did it back in 08. So
no one's arguing against Cam's.
That one was, he
had to be suspended for that. Yeah. So,
and then they get whooped 40-0.
I think Billy, out of those three, is the only one that really had a leg to stand on. Saying,
that's right. Yeah.
I really didn't have any malicious intent in that.
Yep. I felt like he had 80% of the case at least.
Yeah.
Where Isaac was 50-50.
Yep.
And Cam was just zero.
Yeah, Cam didn't stand a chance.
So yeah. It's an interesting topic, isn't it? That
It is. It has caused a divide amongst NRL fans.
well, Rooster fans would just have a sook anyway.
And I was just about to say, it seems like it's just divided between New South Wales and Queensland supporters from what I can see. Yeah.
Victorians and Queenslanders.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Melbourne.
Victorians care about AFL. They don't
Yeah.
really care about.
Well, we'll say the Victorians that are not Victorians but live in Victoria.
Yeah.
So the Kiwis and Queenslanders that are over there.
Yep.
They all support the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, Dally M's moving on.
Yeah.
So we've got our captain, Dally M Captain of the Year, Cameron Smith. I didn't realise that was an award. But there you go, sorry. Fullback, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Winger, Blake Ferguson. Centre, Joey Leilua. 5'8", Cameron Munster. Halfback, Luke Brooks. Lock, Tamalolo. Second rower, Josh Jackson. Prop, Andrew Fafita. Hooker and proven summons People's Choice was Damien Cook. Interchange was Jazz Tavaga from the Warriors. Top try scorer, David Fusatua. And rookie top point scorer, Jermaine Asako. Female player, Brittany Brayley.
Yeah.
And Ken Stephen Medal, Ryan James. So, what are your thoughts on a lot of there? There's a few controversial ones there.
Let's go through the Dally M team
one by one. Is that all right with you?
And then, Dally M medalist winner, Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, wasn't it? Yep.
Correct.
But let's...
Oh, sorry, I didn't even mention that.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, my mistake.
You missed that by a mile. But,
it's not on here. It's not on the list. It just says fullback of the year.
Yeah, he just went... So you're looking at a list?
I know.
Let's go through the team of the year. Because we felt like off air there was a lot of controversial picks.
There was. So Roger Tuivasa wasn't one of them.
No, he won the Dally M award. You can't. Of course, he's the best fullback.
He was a leader for the Warriors. He was phenomenal.
He was phenomenal. He did everything, defense and attack.
Yeah.
He lifted his game to another level this year. Considering I felt like he went missing last year.
Since he moved from the Roosters to the Warriors, I felt he
went missing.
off. He lost his standard.
So, yeah, well done, Roger. Very, very happy. Very happy.
Yeah.
Wing of the year?
Blake Ferguson. To me, I'm not going to say Blake doesn't deserve it. I just think there wasn't really much strong competition.
Well, I felt like Kyle Felt, Corey Oates.
Yeah, they played all right, but see, no one was really pushing for that position. I felt as if wingers this year, there was nothing spectacular from them.
This is what I think. I think that there was a couple of players from the Cowboys that actually played really well. Now, I felt like Felt was probably one of the most consistent players that we had. And he scored some tremendous tries this year.
He did, but Cal was one of the lowest lowest point scorers.
I know.
So it is hard.
That was a bit devastating.
Yeah.
But I felt like that some of the wingers, Aldo Carr, played really well at the start of the season.
Aldo Carr's gone missing since Origin, I feel.
Yeah, I was going to just say that. Jordan Rapana, the only reason why he was injured throughout the year, because he was on fire for the Raiders.
He was suspended as well, wasn't he? Or was he just injured?
I think he injured.
Okay.
And what a long season.
Yeah.
Who's the next one? Centre of the year?
Centre, Joey Leilua. Bit controversial.
Well, I felt like... who do you feel like? Let's go to you first for this one.
Maybe I'm biased. I probably would have given it to Greg Inglis.
Ooh. Didn't really... Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I understand, Joey Leilua is a strong player, but I thought this year he really hasn't hit the standard that he's hit the last few years. And he was, by no stretch of the word, the best centre in the NRL, no stretch of the phrase. So, I mean, that shocked me a little bit, and I wasn't as happy with that. I definitely would have given it to GI. Maybe I'm just biased. But, your thoughts?
Well, I think my own would be... There's a lot of good players.
Yep.
James Roberts, on fire for the Broncos this year. Lateral
Once
Mitchell.
again, similar to Aldo Carr, I felt Roberts has gone missing since Origin. I think his game hasn't been as strong.
Hey man, I remember when the Broncos in the Origin, after one game of the Origin games, he didn't play. They lost. He comes back. He absolutely destroys the team. No, I thought.
If you're going off a one-off, I still stand by my statement. I think he hasn't been as strong as what I would have liked him to have been.
Yeah. Oh,
he even went missing in Origin.
I think it's a bit different when you're when you are Broncos supporter.
And to be fair, he probably does deserve it as much as Joey Leilua does.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I think that he was a better
strong
centre.
argument from you. Yeah.
Yeah, better centre this year. Obviously the great GI. But yeah. I'm not a huge fan, but I think that he's definitely up and coming star is Latrell Mitchell. I already just said him, but I think Mitchell.
It was a suspension that cost him, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But I thought that the 3 quality centres I just named that were awesome this year. I mean, 2018, you cannot deny those 3.
Yeah, you can definitely deny Joey Leilua's
impact
on the competition.
This isn't Joey Leilua of 2 years ago.
No.
Or 3 years ago.
He's not playing as good a footy as what he can.
Yeah.
And what he's shown he can. So, I mean, to me, that doesn't seem right.
But I would have to go with you. I would pick GI. I thought Dean Fuddy was awesome this year, defensively strong.
Yeah.
It was just probably more his offense, but defensively, a lot of highlights.
Yeah, he's very solid.
Very solid. But GI. Peter Hiku as well. Peter Hiku, amazing. Had a good season for the Warriors.
Had a very good year. Yeah, who's
better than Joey Leilua, I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say better than the other 3 that I mentioned, but
better than Joey Leilua.
Yeah, better than Joey Leilua.
So yeah, not as happy about that decision.
No.
Next up, 5'8", Cameron Munster. I mean, to me, that kind of seemed like they had no one else to give it to. No one else really pushed for that role. Munster's played very well this year, and I think he got him over the line against the Rabbitohs in round 1 of the finals. But to me, no other 5'8" stood out this year. So I mean, you've got to give it to someone, and Munster's probably most deserved.
Well, Wood injured.
Yep. Throughout
the season. Blake Green injured throughout the season, and then played some poor games.
Yeah, when he came back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
So I felt like he lost some form. Because at the start of the season, I thought Blake Green was definitely runaway 5'8".
He was on track for it.
Yep.
He was no doubt on track.
The Warriors were amazing, and then I'm suspecting injury. Injury played a big part of losing his form.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Michael Morgan injured, obviously, probably the greatest nemesis to Cameron Munster in that 6 jersey.
Yeah, I think
right now.
I think Morgan this year didn't really prove himself, even when he was playing though. So I don't think he would have been content.
I felt like that he was injured and fatigued this year because he was slow off the blocks. Badly.
He was
badly. And then I think about it, and then I was like, oh well, he did play for the Australians, for the Kangaroos in the World Cup last year, so he didn't really get a lot of rest.
You can certainly make that argument, but so have a lot of other players.
I felt like that. So, maybe he came back not in shape. He didn't look like he was in shape.
Okay. That's a bigger call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's the only other guy I can think of that can match Cameron Munster in terms of that level in number 6 so far.
I think when Milford plays a good game, he can.
Oh, and Milford, Milford. But he was not consistent.
He's reached that level about 2 or 3 times this year, so.
If he is on fire, he's one of the most devastating players on that field.
Yeah, he would win that award, no doubt.
Exactly.
But when you turn up for 4 or 5 games in a year, no,
doesn't help. No. Considering he's the senior half, so
he needs to do more than what he does. Anyway, conversation for another day.
Yeah.
We'll move on. Halfback now. To me, this was the most controversial one, and I think you'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Luke Brooks from the West Tigers.
I didn't even know how he even tallied.
Who gave him the points?
Well, I'm suspecting... Well, this is what I'm suspecting. We know for sure that the commentators and or broadcasters like Channel 9 and whatnot, or Fox Sports, they pick... they give the 3, 2, 1 points to the best player on the field.
Yep.
I felt like that. Now thinking about it, I'm thinking that there's some bias towards him. Thinking like how they used to prop up Dally Cherry Evans back in the days. Like he was the best player, like coming through.
Yep.
And then he fouled. But Luke Brooks never been that guy. But I remember the first time he came through, they're all hyping him up. Joey Johns and everybody else.
They tend to do that. I'm not sure if it's for a dramatic effect or if they're genuinely just that delusional.
Yeah. Well, I disagree with it, like completely, when people do that.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like happened, because watching some of the Tigers game, they wouldn't look at the fact a Benji Marshall doing his thing, they would say, "Oh, Luke Brooks is this, Luke Brooks that."
Yeah.
Actually, I heard it from Fox Sports more than actually Channel 9 this year.
Fox Sports tend to do it a bit more. I was about to say
they love Luke
advice.
Brooks.
They love a few players.
Then they say, "Oh, it's bad for the Tigers because Benji and Robbie are taking over." I'm like, because Luke Brooks done nothing for 5-6 weeks when they were injured, or when Benji was injured.
I think, and don't get me mistaken. I think in the first few weeks of the year, Luke Brooks was a very good halfback. I saw him put in so many good attacking kicks.
Yeah.
But he could only do that because he worked off the back of Benji. Benji gave him room.
So right.
Benji could do everything else, and just fifth tackle option gave it to Luke most of the time.
How great was he at the start of the season?
He was phenomenal. And then, we say phenomenal. The Tigers scored about 30 points in their first 5 games.
Yeah, but
still won 4 from 5. But
it's the way that they did it. I think was so impressive to us.
It was just such a grind.
And they grinded out Melbourne twice.
Yeah.
The only team to do it, I'm pretty sure.
Both were milestone games, or just the second one was a milestone?
Well, I think they were both milestone games. We definitely know one of them was.
Yeah, no doubt.
And you guys had the audacity to go to Melbourne and beat Melbourne. Woo!
Yeah, jeez.
But Luke Brooks doesn't deserve it. There's Cooper Cronk, ladies and gentlemen, Cooper Cronk, who was slow at the start of the season. We won't get that twisted. But the reason why the Roosters have made it this far and all the way to the grand final is because of that man, Cooper Cronk.
Yep.
In a losing team, I felt like JT, by halfway through the season, especially during the origin period, he's still JT.
Yep.
And then you have, Cody Nicodema was probably playing more better games than what Luke Brooks produced.
He's no doubt more consistent.
Cody was I felt like the better half this year for the Broncos.
Yep.
Oh my God, he was electrifying.
I think if you look at every team that finished above the Tigers, so Tigers finished 9, so the top 8.
DCE.
I think all of those halfbacks beat him.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day of the week. So you look at Roosters, obviously Cooper Cronk. Melbourne. Melbourne have been up and down with their halfbacks.
Yeah. So we won't count them.
Won't do Melbourne. Adam Reynolds.
Adam Reynolds.
Chad Townsend has been poor.
No, I felt like just a good average consistent season.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I don't remember him playing a terrible game.
No, I don't remember him playing an outstanding game.
Yeah,
but
or a bad game. He was in the middle, and so that's what you want anyway.
He was just a rock.
Yeah, he was a rock.
Nathan Cleary from Penrith.
Oh man,
would have preferred him over Luke Brooks
easily.
As you said, Cody from the Broncos.
Yeah.
Sean from the Warriors, and even I'd say Ben Hunt had a better season than what Brooks did.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't feel like I'm out of line saying that.
No.
So, I mean, I thought that was a really poor decision. I do agree. I wonder if there is some bias underlying.
It diminishes what the Dalian halfback is about. It's the best halfback in the competition throughout that season.
It's an attack on the prestigiousness of the award. Yeah.
You cannot tell me that Luke Brooks was the best halfback in the competition for 2018.
Yeah.
All the way through. I just can't see it.
No.
And
I agree.
That's probably the biggest one that we probably weren't happy about.
Yeah.
Joey Leilua was he doesn't deserve it, but he doesn't deserve it either. Actually, he doesn't deserve it either.
Yeah. We'll move on. This one, not much controversy around it. Jason Taumalolo at lock. I mean, who's going to sit there and argue against that?
Yeah. I remember you were saying about Fauci and a losing team.
Yeah.
But this guy's the exception of that.
Yeah, no doubt.
He's
no doubt.
exception.
Well, he was the forward pack.
Yeah.
Because Matt Scott was
injured, yeah. Jordan McLean.
Matt Scott was injured,
both.
Jordan McLean was injured. And Taumalolo had to step up.
Yeah.
And
Again.
He made all the Cowboys meters.
That's why I was laughing when one of my friends was telling me that, Jason Taumalolo, he's not, he's not consistent. He's not a champion. He's not one of the best players in the game. He's just said, he's building his way up as a little star. I'm like, no, he's not. He's like basically the heart and soul of the forward pack.
He won a Dally M.
Yeah, that's right. He's a Dally M medalist now.
One of the only forwards
he's the
to win
best,
the Dally M.
And I think this is probably a big call, but I'm pretty sure a majority of people will agree. He's the best forward in the game. He's the most destructive, and he's the best. Mm-hmm. And I think that he's number one pick, locked.
Yep.
If anyone got to choose their team, I'd be picking. He's one of my first picks.
He's
I think
good.
For anybody's
no
team.
Doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. Because he'll destroy a forward pack on his own.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen that happen. He destroyed the Sharks forward pack last year by himself.
Yeah.
And that's no slouch forward pack either.
No.
And he carried 5 of them to the try line. Yeah, so.
Yeah, fair enough.
Jason, easy call.
Yeah.
Run away.
Prop Andrew Fafita.
Yeah, well, there's no arguments. Because I felt like the front rowers have.
It was a weak year. Weak year from the front rowers.
Well, some of them none of them were outstanding. No.
So, I mean, as much as I'm not a big fan of Andrew,
yeah,
I'm not going to say that reward's undeserved. So, fair enough. Second row now. This is the third one with controversy surrounding it. Josh Jackson from the Bulldogs, the ex-New South Wales captain.
Oh, man.
Was he was captain for New South Wales, wasn't he?
Well, I can't remember. That's how come he didn't make it. I thought Boyd caught it. No,
it was always
Boyd. Boyd, yeah.
So he was just captain of the Bulldogs. My mistake.
Well, Josh Jackson is a good player.
Played for Australia.
I felt like this. I felt like Josh Jackson. He's a great player.
Yeah.
He's a good player. Really good player.
He's got the stats and the accomplishments to prove it.
But I felt like Angus Crichton from the Rabbitohs was destructive.
Yep.
He's such a good player. He's an underrated player too.
Yeah,
Angus.
No doubt.
But there's other better players too in the second row position. You know what? You have to actually give it to like players like Tavita Punga Jr., who played second row destructive, but then I realised no, he came off the bench a lot too.
Yeah.
So it wasn't consistent. But
even then, he played a prop for a few of his games.
Tarek Sims was awesome this year.
Phenomenal. What a machine.
Consistent throughout the whole year. The last time I seen him do that was when he was playing for the Cowboys years ago, before he broke his leg.
Yeah.
So that was the last time that I've seen him so consistent throughout the year. Deserved his Origin call up. Deserved everything that went his way.
Yep.
Man, dude, he was a beast this year. And I think, to be fair, he should have been second row of the year.
Yep, no, I agree with that. I think another person that beat Josh Jackson, I'd say Felice Kafusi.
Yeah, Felice Kafusi, yeah, exactly.
I mean, granted he wasn't very good in Origin, but I think for the Storm,
as a club
player,
and that's what it's about.
He was very, very good. He was a very strong
consistent.
second rower.
Tohu Harris, obviously.
I was about to bring up Tohu Harris from the Warriors.
Yeah.
What a season he had.
Like I said, he's the elite. He's one of the elite second rows.
Yeah, we're going to reward Josh Jackson, even though he's in a
losing team again,
in absolute turmoil.
But this team isn't. This team isn't like a team where it's like you know, it's not like Jason Tamalolo. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I agree.
You know that guy is the best in his position.
Yeah, who else are you going to throw up in front of Jason Tamalolo?
Josh Jackson, you're like from the Bulldogs.
Yeah,
that was confusing because I felt all those top 8 sides had basically one second rower that was consistent throughout the whole year. Not only consistency, past the consistency level.
Boyd Corner from the Roosters, Felice Kafusi from the Storm.
Yep. Angus Crichton from the Rabbitohs.
Who finished 4th?
You had
Sharks.
Yeah, Sharks. You had
Luke Lewis.
Yeah, Luke Lewis, man.
What about he's already run at Clive Churchill, and I'm happy to see that. I quite like Luke Lewis.
Yeah. He's been one of my favourite players over the years. So
Penrith. Who are the Penrith second rowers?
Kikau. Kikau was awesome.
Okay, yeah. Probably.
No, I don't think I would have put him. I'll put him in the same category as Josh Jackson.
Yeah.
But they're young though, and they were better than. I felt like they were. He was more destructive this year.
No doubt. Brisbane have been all over the shop with their second rowers this year.
Well, Alex Lim was injured. So.
Exactly, and I think Alex Lim, when he played, he was still very good.
Yeah, very.
A better second rower than what
Yep.
Josh Jackson was. It was just obviously playing half the year kind of diminishes your chances of winning a Dally M.
Obviously, Warriors is Tory Harris, and then Dragons,
Tarek
Sims, and Tyson Frizzell.
Yeah.
So how can you not give it to one of them? Well, I felt like Tarek deserved it the most.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Man, a lot of controversies in the Stallion this year.
There was. I'm shocked to see that. Usually you wouldn't see as much controversy around it because I usually find the point system pretty reliable.
Not this year.
Yeah, clearly not. And Hooker of the Year, Damien Cook.
Yeah.
We don't need
a lot of great hookers this year, but he definitely stood out.
He was,
He was so electrifying.
He was best of the best.
He was. This is how close I reckon. This is just my opinion, but I felt like Damien Cook 1 or 2 this year, best hooker.
Yep.
Isaac Luke 1 or 2 this year, best hooker, and then Cameron Smith.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't feel like that Cam was better than those guys because I felt like that they were the reason why they got that far.
Yep.
Their respective teams got so far because of that Cam's already had a lot of awards. He doesn't need more.
No, he's
still the greatest hooker to ever play the game anyway.
Yeah.
So
and Rookie of the Year, Jermaine Osako, as I said. So
was he?
He was.
Yeah.
So sorry, I didn't say that very clearly. He was Rookie of the Year and top point scorer.
Yeah.
So,
Rookie of the Year. I was so happy. I was actually when I was waiting for the awards and waiting for the Rookie of the Year, I was so worried for Jermaine because I thought that they might have given it to the guy from the Sharks, the centre. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I always thought Jermaine had it.
Well, he should have had it. I got too sucked up in media and watching reading news articles, and they were picking this the centre from the Sharks.
Yep.
And I was like, no way! Jermaine's been consistent all year. Not only that, the highest point scorer for a rookie.
Yeah.
And he made the international stage.
Yeah.
He got selected in rep level. You can't tell me he's not Rookie of the Year.
No.
So yeah.
Oh, was it Jesse Ramian?
Yeah, that's it. Nah, Jermaine.
No chance. Jermaine every day.
And he's a Kiwi, so I had to go for him.
Got that love for him.
No, but he was really good for the Broncos. Clutch as well, clutch.
Yeah, no doubt.
And scored some great points.
And Coach of the Year, Anthony Seibold.
Yeah. Rabbitohs.
Not going to argue against that.
Nah.
That's a fair enough decision.
Yeah, good call. I like that. I like how it's not just to Craig or to Trent Robinson and whatnot.
Yeah,
I felt like,
agree.
and Anthony Seibold in his first year as well, taking the Rabbitohs that far, prelims, pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And getting the best out of some of the players that have been stagnant for a couple of years. So,
Yep.
yeah, good on them.
No, I agree.
Anyone else that worth mentioning? No.
Ryan James was... I can't remember what award he won, but... I mean, those were the Player of the Year awards.
David Fustua, try scorer of the year.
Top try scorer, yeah.
Yeah, that was...
Ken Stephen was the medal Ryan James won, the Ken Stephen medal.
Yeah.
And sorry, interchange, Jazz Tafaka.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, well, anyone could have got that one.
I think, yeah.
But I think he was so consistent for the Warriors coming off the bench.
Yep. I don't have much to add to him, you know.
Nah,
And sorry, Damien Cook, Proven Summons, People's Choice.
Yep. The people love him.
I mean, he was just good to watch. He was just exciting and a workhorse. So,
Well, he carved Melbourne up.
yeah,
And when you carve their defensive line up,
you know you're doing something right.
yeah.
All right, we'll move on. I don't have any other topics I wanted to bring up this week before we move on to the grand final. So, anything you wanted to add? Now's your chance.
No, let's get right into it.
Right into it. So, we'll preview the games first. So, I think the first game on is it the women's game?
Yeah, the women.
So, Broncos versus Roosters.
Yep.
Who's your tip?
Broncos, easily. Well, the Broncos, I've been watching all the games.
Yep.
The Broncos by far outclassed the other three teams.
It seems that way. I've only watched a couple.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah. What I like the most too is, like the men's game, there's a lot of Kiwi ferns and whatnot into the team. So all the Jillaroos and the Kiwi ferns are mixing into this one super team called Brisbane Broncos.
Yep.
And and not only that, the Kiwi Ferns star players, like their superstars, are all in the Broncos, some of them. So, man, I love it. Love the women's game, you know?
Yeah.
It's a great spectacle.
I think that they've conquered that rivalry between the two. You know, that Ferns versus Australia. There's rivalry, but they still play together well. They still gel as teams.
Yep.
They're still strong players. I feel as if State of Origin has had a really negative impact on the Australian side for rugby league. I feel as if I see players struggle to gel after playing such a heated match 3 times a year, where your passion and your pride is on the line and you're fighting for everything. So I mean,
I've noticed
that element to the women's game I enjoy. I think that's really important, and that needs to be adopted in the men's game.
Well, I felt like
if our international rugby league is to take a new level. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, sorry, man. The women's game, especially Kiwi Ferns versus Jillaroos, it's always a rivalry, probably to the extent of Origin, the men's Origin. That rivalry between the two countries, phenomenal.
Yep.
Big hit, precision in plays.
Yep.
I love it. And so to see rugby league grow now as a sport, and we got 4 women's teams, and well done to all 4 of them.
Yep.
At least they all played. And at least they had clubs in there. Now the aim is to add more clubs. hopefully they can add eight teams this time.
I think
jump up to 4 more
right
clubs.
Right now is just doubling the competition.
Yeah,
so.
man, it's exciting to watch.
And it's not impossible to do. That's not a big ask.
No.
I imagine you'd build a women's team.
I've already seen that some of the sides in the in NRL teams have already got women's sides. Like the Sharks used to have a women's team. So, and they didn't get selected into this competition. So,
yeah, no, other clubs will be pushing for it now. I think it's
I know we took this sidetracked a little bit from the grand final, but we had to. We didn't really talk about the women's game.
I haven't mentioned the women's game all year, so
yeah. But yeah, Brisbane Broncos to win. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think the Broncos have just looked a different class. To
Way too shy.
Yeah, but as I reckon the competition will change over the next few years as they add more teams.
Yeah.
I hope anyway. I hope it's not just as one-sided as what this year's been.
The Roosters could do one upset game. I don't know.
Yeah, that's all they need.
It takes one game. 1 point.
To me, that seems like a big upset, though.
Yeah.
Moving on, it is the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs under-20s taking on Redcliffe Dolphins. So the winner of the Intrust Super Cup versus the winner of the Intrust Super Premiership.
Yeah.
Who have you got?
Well, if it's the under-20s, they're going to get destroyed by Redcliffe. It's not, is it?
It's not the under-20s, is it?
No.
No, they changed it.
Thank God.
Bulldogs. I swear, because they're predominantly NRL team, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all adult teams. I was about to say, when you said under-20s, they'll get hammered by Redcliffe.
I just have not followed the New South Wales competition at all this year.
Yeah, I have followed more of the Queensland Cup.
I've been to a game every weekend.
New South Wales.
They've been phenomenal games.
Yeah.
I remember watching Papua New Guinea play out at Souths. That was only a couple months ago. Got Papua New Guinea draw out a good crowd. I mean, the atmosphere, just a typical, I think it was Davies Park, I believe it was. You know, it's nothing special. It was just a good experience. You know,
awesome,
surrounded by a Sunday afternoon, sitting on the hill. Oh, there's no better way to watch footy.
I went to a couple of the games too. It's really good. Redcliffe, went to Redcliffe. Tweeds, I think.
I didn't get to see Redcliffe play this year. I saw, who was it? I saw North take on Ipswich.
Oh.
I believe it was. So I saw the Walker brothers in action.
Yeah.
I mean, they're good games. It's just so good to head out on a Sunday. I
like that. I like the passion. You know,
it seems a little bit more raw than what the NRL does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I like that. It's similar to that effect in the US when they talk about college basketball being more popular than the NBA, because NBA players have made it. You know, your minimum rookie contract is already millions of dollars in a year, whereas college players have got nothing. You know, if they fail in college, that's their life. Like, that's their life gone. They need to succeed in college basketball. So they put
American
everything
football.
they can on the line.
The American football is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, the crowds they draw to college
football?
games.
What?
Unbelievable.
It's like 100,000 stadium. And you're like, what? For college game?
Yeah. Oh,
that's what I like.
It's madness.
Although I'm not sure. Well, I guess we're not trying to say that's what the New South Wales Cup or the Queensland Cup to that extent. Just imagine that. That would be great.
Out on the hill drinking beers. Yeah.
But I would say this. You know what? I don't care. I'm going to be biased.
Yep.
I want Queensland Cup to win, so Redcliffe, I want Dolphins to win this game.
I think I saw it a couple of years ago when I watched Papua New Guinea play against, I believe it was Penrith.
Yeah, Penrith but they were solid though.
Well, Papua New Guinea were a very good team, but Papua New Guinea's goal was just to win the Queensland Intrust Super Cup.
Yep.
That was all they cared about, and they went out and celebrated. And you could tell in the grand final they were lethargic. They didn't really care. They weren't really there to play because the match didn't mean anything to them. They'd already achieved what they set out to do. In which case, this match was kind of just like an exhibition match, and they'd already been celebrating. So,
do you remember when the Intrust Super Cup, so Queensland, they had the first, I think the first time was Northern Pride played, I can't remember, it was maybe Newcastle or no, can't remember, but Northern Pride won the first ever, I'm pretty sure the first ever premiership match between the two New South Wales and Queensland competitions. It felt like in that game though, was that they set a precedence that, no, we want to be the best competition. Like, our competition is better than your competition.
Yep.
And then I think it was Ipswich Jets that won it the second time. They came back. They represented Queensland. They won. That was the grand final in 2015.
Did you watch that live? Were you at the
Yeah, I was there, man. Yeah. And I was celebrating because I wanted Ipswich to win. But the tactics from Ipswich Jets, that's the Walker brothers.
Yeah.
I love that tactic.
Oh, yeah, they were good.
And they brought a philosophy of getting there, and the job wasn't done yet. Even though they won their competition, they still wanted to get there, and the job wasn't done to say we're the best club in the country.
Who was the hooker for Ipswich that match?
Oh, I can't remember, man.
It wasn't Mitchell Rain, was it?
Maybe it was. Wait, but that was 3 years ago. So
it was a while ago.
And then I think Queensland dropped off after. Yeah. I think Queensland's dropped off.
Well, I think a lot of teams don't take it seriously. I think it's not a very big competition because they want to win the Intrust Super Cup.
Yeah, and the Intrust Super Premiership, I think
that's what teams care about. And so this match is kind of just like, Queensland versus New South Wales, but it's just not. So I like the idea, but I don't think the teams take it seriously enough for it to be successful. Northern
Pride and Ipswich Jets took it seriously, so they set their standard, man. Queensland should have just kept on going. But I'm with you. I felt like the PNG boys weren't prepared for another match.
No, they they put everything they had into the grand final.
Yep.
And you can't blame them for that.
No, it's grand final.
Exactly.
So,
and then now you tell them, there you go, boys, you got another game to play.
But I noticed New South Wales is getting more and more serious about that, though. Over the last 2 years.
Yeah, well, they think it's an easy win.
I think they don't want to. I think they don't want to lose. You know.
Yeah.
But I think Redcliffe is going to. I think Redcliffe is the stronger team.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's as I said, it's a pretty strong.
It's a strong Bulldogs team. Yeah, man. They did little tactics like, that guy came on for 15 seconds and came off, so he could play in the finals.
Yeah.
So I can't remember. He plays for in the Bulldogs NRL side.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of them too. So.
There's a few. I think there was like 4 or 5.
Is there Broncos players playing for Redcliffe? I'm pretty sure there is.
I will have a look.
We gotta have a look.
I'll check to see if they played in the grand final. I don't have the team lists for this weekend, but I should have the team lists for the grand final weekend. Let's have a look. Tom Opposich and David Staggs. Is it David Staggs? No. Sure, no. Tony Staggs.
Yeah, Tony Staggs. Both Broncos? Played Broncos?
Yes. Both Broncos players. Staggs played off the bench for the Broncos.
Yep.
Never started. Who else have we got? No one else from the Broncos I'm recognising here. Would you like to have a look at this team list? You might recognise someone that I don't, but none of them are NRL players other than Katoni and...
Let's have a look.
Tony Opposite, the centres.
Cameron Cullen used to play for the Seagulls, and I think... who else? I know he plays for another NRL team, maybe Titans, something like that. Hopewadi, I wonder if that's one of the Hopewadi family members.
Could be. Wouldn't be unlikely.
Everyone else, I don't really know who they are.
I don't recognise them as much. So I imagine it'll be a good game. I hope Redcliffe show up and take it seriously.
Well, so do I.
But I mean, there's no guarantee around that. So
yeah, man. So that's that competition done. Yeah. So I guess we'll
move on now. The NRL grand. Oh, sorry, we need to do our tips for that.
So, yeah.
Both Tip and Redcliffe?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, we kind of already said that.
Look, Broncos, Redcliffe, notice the trend.
All right, so now NRL Grand Final. Roosters versus the Storm, ANZ Stadium. Who have you got, Hoonz?
Yeah.
And why?
It's I've got to say this has probably been the most close. This has been the closest competition in my lifetime so far.
Yep, no doubt.
This season, and I think the one move was Cooper Cronk moving to the Roosters. It evened out the NRL.
Yep.
It was that close that any of the teams could lose, and we've seen Melbourne lose a lot this year.
Yep.
And saying that, if Cooper Cronk plays, I am going to tip the Roosters to win.
Okay, so you're putting it entirely on Cooper Cronk.
If Cooper Cronk plays, they win. I feel like that it's going to come down to the halves. I think that there's a lot of quality that's on both sides, and we know Cameron Smith and Billy Slater, they're going to be, and Cameron Munster, they're going to be the three main instigators. I feel that Luke Keary nullifies Cameron Munster's, not in the running department, because Cameron Munster is this unbelievable runner, but in playmaking ability, speed around the ruck and blindside plays, I feel like Luke Keary's got that over him, and probably more of the general kicking.
Yep. I agree with that.
Billy Slater, James Tedesco is an awesome battle. I always root for the champion in Billy Slater, that he is. But James Tedesco's no slouch. But Cameron Smith is he's the obviously. Jake Friend just has to keep with Cameron. He has to beat him at his own game, which was slowing the ruck down when needed, playing fast from the ruck, providing quality balls, and run when necessary. So, because that's the two big ones. But Brodie Croft against Cooper Cronk is not even a competition.
It's not. It's worrying for Storms fans, I imagine.
And that's the only position I can think of where it's just lopsided one side. And if, like I said, if Cooper Cronk plays, I think the direction, the direct play, and his inside knowledge of the Melbourne Storm would help the Roosters tremendously. And I think whoever's forward pack turns up and lays the platform for their respective halves or hooker, I think, but I feel like the Roosters got one left in them. Roosters, big cool, man. I never went for the Roosters in my life before. But this year, I'm going for the Roosters.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my tip. What about you, man? At least I explained it, guys. Why?
You did explain it very, very well.
Okay, let's go, Nick.
I'm going to have to go to Storm. I'm not going to lie. I think when you look at those battles, Cooper Cronk in doubt as well.
I know,
if he doesn't play, I don't think it'll be a good competition.
Can I say that?
Storm run away.
Can I say that? Is that if Cooper Cronk doesn't play, my tip changes to the Storm?
No. The Roosters will Storm Hoonz.
Oh man, I did rely everything on Cooper Cronk playing this game.
I know, but I'm not gonna. I know we've allowed that throughout the season with our tipping, but we're putting our foot down. It's the grand final, Hoonz. You've got to tip a winner.
I'll decide after you finish your talk.
Okay, interesting. I'm gonna go Storm. I stand by that. I think Slater over Tedesco, no doubt. No, it's not going to be an easy battle for Slater to win.
Yeah.
But I still think Slater can do that.
Yeah. Did I mention that? Yeah, I did.
You did.
Say Slater and Smith.
Yeah. Battle of the Wingers, Blake Ferguson and Tupou versus Addo-Carr and... is Vunivalu back? I believe Vunivalu's playing.
I think Vunivalu's back. That is such a good battle, but the speed battle is no competition.
Well, I see... Vunivalu and Tupou I see as very similar wingers. Very, very similar wingers. So, are they against one another? I don't believe they are.
Yeah.
I think it's Ferguson's right wing, isn't he?
Yeah, they'll be against each other because Addo-Carr.
Vunivalu's right wing.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so there will be That'll be a battle. I'll enjoy watching that.
What Blake Ferguson has over Addo-Carr is the power, but the speed factor, I don't think so.
See, I'd give that battle to Blake Ferguson.
What, the power?
The overall battle of wingers. Blake Ferguson, I think, would beat Addo-Carr.
Yeah, I know. I was saying about power and speed.
That's
it. Like,
but I'm going through players one by one, facing their opposition. I think Slater over Tedesco. I think Tupou's been invisible the last few years. As much as I don't think Vunivalu is that much of a special winger, I would still put him above Daniel Tupou at this stage. So I think Vunivalu's got that.
So you got two for the Storm.
Addo-Carr versus Ferguson. Got to give it to Ferguson. He has been
tearing it up this year.
He has, and winger of the year.
Yeah.
I'm not arguing against that. So 2-1.
2-1.
Then you've got is Chambers.
Yep, Mitchell. Yep.
Latrell.
Yep.
I've got to give that to Latrell.
Yeah.
No doubt. I think Chambers isn't having a strong year.
I think that he has been playing poor for probably the last 2 years.
Yeah, I agree.
Although they won the grand final last year, it wasn't on the back of him.
His decision making hasn't been strong. He's
very poor.
His attack and defence isn't anything spectacular. You wouldn't be relying on him to score your points or to save your points. So Latrell, for me, wins that battle. And he did in Origin.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah.
Not even a competition. It was almost like Chambers wasn't there.
Yep.
And the other centres battle, Manu versus Curtis Scott.
I feel like this one's probably more even. I don't.
This one is a very even battle. I'm struggling to
because
pick
Joseph Manu's a very, very good player, but Curtis Scott's just like a very good player as well. So
I'm gonna have to give it to Curtis Scott. A little controversial, but I do prefer his play style.
You know what? I would give my one to Manu. You know why?
Oh, okay.
Because we've seen Curtis Scott crack this year. So when the pressure's against him, although his playing style, actually Joseph's probably has more of a agility wise.
Yeah.
He's got some power, and that's why Blake Ferguson has been doing really well too. With a really good centre. Curtis Scott is probably more direct but side running. So he changes angles when he runs.
Yeah.
And that's how he makes a lot of holes. Who's outside of him? Aldo Carr. So
yeah.
Vunivalu,
isn't it? Curtis Scott's left wing. Chambers is right.
Is it? It changed right, yeah.
So
yeah, man, I can't wait for the battle though. That's why I didn't give it to Manu though.
That could be the separation, because right now I'm 3 to the Storm, 2 to the Roosters. You're 3 to the Roosters, 2 to the Storm.
Yeah.
So that might be the separation.
Yeah, I like this little game though.
Me too.
But yeah, Curtis Scott's cracked though. Joseph Manu hasn't. So young players cracking under pressure.
That's true. Curtis Scott has also won a grand final.
Yeah. We're about to find out.
So, I mean, if you're going with experience...
But that's not in the back. No, but that's not in the back of Curtis Scott, though. That's not like... It
wasn't, but he's got the experience of it.
Yeah, we'll see.
Manu doesn't.
We'll see.
Manu's not played a grand final before, so okay.
Well, final series, but yeah, not a grand final. But we'll see.
All right, Battle of 5'8", Munster and Keary.
Two different style of halves.
Two very different style of halves.
But you would have to give it to Cameron Munster.
Thank you.
Even I would.
Thank you. I'm so glad I didn't have to disagree with you on that. Yes, Munster. I give that to
Munster's just got that little bit of extra, but you know what I call it? X factor. But don't get me wrong, Luke Keary's a very damn good half.
Yep.
So you notice the Roosters
they're
put
both
wayward.
Dangerous.
So
they're both very
dangerous. Because Luke Keary's got a running game.
Yeah.
But it's just not Cameron Munster's running game. So
yeah, I agree. Okay, so what are we separated at now? Is that
I'm 3 for both sides.
3 each.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm 4-2 for the Storm.
Yeah, 4-2 for the Storm.
Yeah, okay. Halfback battle.
Well, right now Cooper Cronk is the name, but I guarantee you.
Orbison is at halfback against Brodie Croft.
Well, you'll have to give it to Brodie if Mitchell was there.
I agree.
But I'm saying this. I don't feel like Cooper Cronk is missing this game this week. I can't see it.
Me neither. Is he signed for next year?
Yep, 2 years, 2 year contract. So this year and next year.
Makes it a big decision to make, because it'll be surgery. He has to have surgery, so he has months off. Jeez, big call for Cooper Cronk to make. I would not want to be in his shoes right now.
Well, I'm scrapping Mitchell Orbison because I know that guy will definitely revert back to the bench.
Yeah.
If Cooper Cronk's there.
Yep.
And I'm saying this: Cooper Cronk is playing versus Brodie Croft. It's lopsided. We don't even have to talk about it.
Give the battle to Cronk. Okay. You know what? I agree with you. I'm going to give that one to the Roosters. I think Cooper Cronk will play, and I think he will outshine Brodie Croft.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's not even a competition, man. So lopsided, it's ridiculous. And we already know the accolades of Cooper Cronk. So.
Yeah. So that's 4-3 for each of us. Your Roosters. I'm in favour of Storm.
Is it 4-3? Yeah. Yeah, I'm 4-3. Well, I definitely got.
Yeah, I was 4-2. Yeah.
I went Ferguson. Manu.
You're 4-3 for the Roosters. I'm 4-3 for the Storm. Forward pack battle. Now we'll do this not by position, but by front row, second row.
Yeah. Hey.
So Glasby, Smith, and Bromwich taking on Takiaho, Friend, and Maria Hargraves. Who have you got?
I'm sorry, but I have to go with the Storm.
Yeah. Good man.
You know why? It's because Jesse Bromwich is there, and he's such a key part to the Storm's forward pack.
Yep.
And he's one of the great front rows of our game.
Yep.
That's why I have to go with him. And plus, they have Cameron Smith. So I'm obviously Cameron Smith.
To me, Friend loses to Smith, and Smith beats Friend, and Bromwich beats Hargraves.
Oh, easily.
In which case, it's 2 out of 3 to the Storm.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I went. You knew deep down I was going to go for this.
Yeah, I did. You weren't going to go against him. So I'm on 5-3 to the Storm. You're on 4-4.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, second row is Stimson and Kafusi taking on Leo and Cordner.
I would say I give that to Louis and Cordner.
I'm inclined to
Oh,
agree.
and Kafusi is playing. I'm pretty sure he's playing Void on that right and left side. Yeah.
Okay. I'm inclined to agree with you. I'm gonna have to give that battle to Cordner and Liu.
Yeah.
So
Is that Dynamis? Nah.
no.
Isaac.
Isaac.
Yep. No, dude, that guy's phenomenal.
Well, he's played 25 games this year.
Yeah, Isaac Liu is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
His footwork at the line, so good.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to give it to them easily.
Yeah.
And so we say Finucane and
Finucane versus Victor Radley.
you know Bradley's come a long way, man. But I would,
He has
but consistency and a guy you can depend on, and that's what Craig
in a
Bellamy
grand
loves.
final.
Yeah, and a grand final win is Finucane.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, Finucane wins
so
that
Dale Finucane wins that battle.
Yep. 3. I'm just doing my tally. 4,
I don't even know mine.
5, 6. So I'm actually 6 and 4 in favour of the Storm. I believe you are you 5 all or are you in favour of the Storm? So you've gone Slater.
Yeah.
His battle.
Yeah.
Vunivalu, you agreed over Tupou. Yeah, happy with that?
Yeah, no?
It's up to you. I mean, we didn't really talk about your opinion on that.
Yeah, no, we didn't. I would... That's a weird battle.
It is.
That's a weird battle. I feel like both players have been quiet.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what? Okay, I'm just going to base it on who has hands. Tupou has better hands than Vunivalu, because we know
Sure does.
Vunivalu has errors in his game.
Butterfingers.
Butterfingers, all right. So I could, because of the Butterfingers, sounds controversial, but I'm going to give it to Tupou.
And would you go Ferguson over Adokar?
Oh, yeah.
Yep, good. And then we've gone Latrell.
Yep.
Uh,
I went
gone
Manu.
Cooper,
I went Manu, and you
went
went
Manu.
You went Kuta Scott.
and you went Roosters second row. So you're 6-4 in favour of the
Ah.
Roosters. I'm 6-4 in favour of the Storm. I'm making sure I am. Yep, Slater, Vunivalu, Scott, Munster, Finucane, front row.
Yeah.
So
And I went...
okay, so it's that one position's separating us. That Manu versus Scott battle.
Yeah.
That's worse. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Interesting. So if we flip, we would have been 5-5, wouldn't it?
Yep. Would have been.
Wow. But
Intriguing.
that is intriguing.
Okay.
I'm interested in this grand final because I don't know who's going to win.
Me neither. I mean, history would tell you Storm have the upper hand.
I would say history shows me the Storm with Cooper Cronk has the upper hand.
Yep.
But with no Cooper Cronk, I've seen Brodie Croft. Can he handle the limelight of the NRL grand final? Because we have players that have played in the grand final from the Roosters.
Yep.
We have Boyd Cordner, Jared Whitehair-Hargraves, Dylan Napa,
Yep.
Jake Friend. Cooper Cronk is their biggest key.
Yep.
Although Tedesco's never played. We had Tupou and Ferguson play.
Yep.
You know, so we have some of those guys, Mitchell Orbison as well.
Yep.
So you have some of those Roosters, a lot of experience there as well.
Yep.
And then you have the Storm, who have a lot of young players. They're getting experience through their old guys.
Yep.
They're just fortunate that they've got brilliant players in their sides as well. So I'm interested to see,
The
man.
teams have faced off once this year at Adelaide Oval, separated by a point, 9-8 to the Storm.
Yeah, Storm.
And I don't think anyone's confident enough to go off that result as a predictor of this game.
I don't know, man. Although, yes, I will say this. I'm tipping the Roosters and you're tipping the Storm. So this is basically, but this is just as a guess tip.
This is the final tip.
Because usually I'm confident. Last year, if you told me, I would say this, right? Cowboys, Storm. My heart will always say Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I would never tip against them.
Yeah.
But my head was saying, we are climbing Mount Everest.
You're in big trouble.
We're in big trouble because that Storm side was unbelievable last year.
Yeah.
And it was a runaway, basically. You thought that they were favourites and that was it.
Yeah.
This year, though, I can't... Unanimously, you can't say, Storm are favourites.
Yeah.
They're the best. Well, I feel like that actually the Roosters could have won it. The Rabbitohs, the Warriors, anyone could have won it this year.
Sportsbet is saying as an obvious favourite.
What? Storm?
$2.20 for the Roosters, $1.60 for the Storm.
Is that because Cronk is not named
I
in the
imagine
side?
so.
Yeah.
I imagine so. Oh,
Please,
that's a
Cooper.
big
Hey.
decision for Cooper to make.
Wouldn't you just...
Decision.
I would just love it too, though, where Cooper Conker's playing right, and he's against his old mates, and then he wins the grand final, and he can easily turn around and say, I was the key for our success in the Melbourne Storm colours. Yep. That's what it's going to feel like to me, is that he's the reason why that they were successful. Yeah. If they lose, that is the Storm.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't play, man, I don't give the Roosters a shot.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Yeah. All right, well, I believe that sums up our year for the 20-minute restart Agree to Disagree Rugby League podcast. I have no real final thoughts to add. I think just to thank you very much for listening. It's been a fun year. I've very much enjoyed myself behind the microphone.
Yeah, same here, Nick. Yeah, it's like it was a fantastic season. Very, very new experience for both of us. Yeah, but, I'm so glad that we've done it throughout the whole season.
Me too. It's very easy to just once a week just sit around, just talk footy.
Yeah,
just talk footy.
Talk footy. Yeah,
how easy is that?
Especially when it's your favourite sport. It's like, it's so easy.
You live and breathe it.
It's so easy to talk about.
So I very much enjoyed it. So Hoonz, thank you very much for inviting me on and letting me have or share this experience with you.
Yeah,
hope to continue this for as long as we can.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be back next season, and we would like to say a big thank you to all our supporters that's been listening this year.
100%. No thank you is big enough for that. So. Also, I do want to thank our man behind the scenes, old Bra.
Oh, yeah.
He was only with us for a few weeks at the start of the year, and he disappeared, but he still does all our technical work. So
yeah, and comes on and off for special occasions.
He's still a special guest.
Yeah, the special guest.
And you haven't heard the last of him, no doubt. So thank you very much, everyone, and thank you very much, Hoonz. It's been a fantastic experience. Can't wait for next year.
Next year, let's roll around.
All right, well, this is Nick.
And this is Hoonz.
Signing off. Thanks, guys.